Well, we've got our week nitty bun. I'm Engineer Hoist. Welcome to our weekly Transformers Earth Wars news stream. First off, happy anniversary. It's the 4th year completed in Transformers Earth Wars. Many players have been playing since the start. I started on global launch day back 4 years ago. That was actually the topic of my question of the day. We've had quite a few people been here from the beginning. We've got some people started about halfway through, about 2 years ago. Some started as recently, I think I saw, as November of last year. So full range. It's good to see the game still going strong, still bringing in new players. And that's why I put up That's Perfect Timing for that little bit up there in my ad section. That's why I still put out some beginner-focused tests, because there's still people starting new every day. So welcome to anybody who's just coming in, and congratulations to everybody who's been here forever. So we're going to go through the news, and we got the next set of combat bots revealed. And because we had the first Monday of the month, we got VIP crystals, and because it's the 4-year anniversary, we got extra amount. And so there's going to be a lot of crystal cracking coming up after the news, so stick around for that. And in the meantime, how about we head on over and talk about the news and this weekend's event. This weekend's event is called Forgotten Legends. And I still can't figure out the buttons right away. There we go. So I liked this little slide they had there in the newsletter. It's pretty cool that they got Red Alert and Run Amok in there as well. And so just another happy 4-year anniversary to everybody. If you're hearing birds, it's from the game. or my air conditioning's coming across the microphone weird. Gather your alliance and take part in this weekend's event to win a guaranteed new bot 4-star crystals. So that's right, no duplicates in this 4-star crystal. It's kind of a tradition now, I think, for the anniversary event, so very cool. If you happen to have all of the 4 stars available in the crystal, you get 500 5-star shards, which is equal to about 2.8 duplicate 4 stars. So it's still a pretty good consolation prize, I suppose, if you happen to be one of the few who basically have every possible 4-star in there. Plus, you can also win up to 25 power cord chips, up to 50 Kremzik battle boosters of varying colors, up to 30 celebration canisters, in which you can get premium 3-star shards or any of the various different spark. So this is an alliance event. It's one big prize list. It starts at the usual Friday start time, ends at the usual Monday stop time, and super XP. Very, very cool. Very cool. How do you participate? Well, being in an alliance event, you have to be in an alliance, and you also have to be headquarters level 4. You hit that event button, pick your zone, win the battle, win the points, collect your prizes. Battle zones are the standard battle zones. And the totalizer prizes, they did throw in a little bit of an alloy and energon by a little bit. I said 5 million of each. But the prizes come about every 5 to 10,000 points that the Alliance scores. But these are the point levels that you have to reach to collect each of these prizes. And that guaranteed new, no duplicate 4-star anniversary crystal comes when your Alliance scores 115,000 points, which is very doable for most alliances out there. So real excited to see that and see who we can get through and help improve our squads. So best of luck to everybody out there to reach that level, and best of luck to you on your pulls. And here's a listing of everything that you can get in the celebration canister. There's it's equal chance to get 2,500 premium shards, which is actually pretty good. It's good for 2.5 crystals. 500 3-star shards, or 7,500 of any of the various Spark, Combiner Spark, or Combat Spark. And so in the anniversary crystal, they had a long list of who's available, and I found it was easier just to tell you who's not in it. Basically, anybody who joined the game up to and including Red Alert and Run Amok is available in that crystal. So anybody strafe or newer, strafe and thrust or newer is not going to be available. So that would be these bots here: strafe, thrust, Dinobot and Dinobot 2, nose cone, drill horn, brainstorm, and Skyhawk, or obviously Six Gun and Trigger Happy just came out a couple of weeks ago, so they're not gonna. They had zero chance of being in there. So yeah, pretty much any bot up to and including Red Alert and Run Amok is going to be available in that anniversary crystal. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk about new combat bots. We don't know what their ability is going to be, but first one on the Autobot side is Topshot. The best and worst thing about Topshot is he follows orders to the letter. He gives his all for the cause, but not an iota more than the strategy calls for, which makes him obedient to a fault, but lacking any capacity for improvisation. Now, the interesting thing about Topshot is he is the second half of the Autobot Battle Patrol with Flak, who is already one of the combat bots in the game. So, Topshot here, and there's Flak there. Now, one of the gimmicks for these Micromasters here is they do combine into a single weapon. I do not think we'll be seeing that in the game. It looks like they're going to be using them separately. And we'll get a closer look at these two guys when we get up on the big screen, so we can see more what they can potentially be as an individual gun. His counterpart is Fireline, who I don't think they had a squad identified because they were released in the 10-pack, but he is partnered with Cratermaker there. So there's Fireline. Fireline, with his hot temper and short fuse, Fireline is a tough proposition for anyone to handle, and in his artillery cannon mode, even more bombastic force of nature. When you take him in hand, you literally take your life in your hands. And so there's the bios for these guys. Gen 1 Red Alert says he's finally here. Go ahead and start now. Okay, well, in case you missed it in the newsletter, Red Alert is going to be available in this anniversary crystal, so I know that's going to make you happy. I'm not sure if they're going to be released to the premium crystals, so you can clear out your stash of crystals that you've been hoarding or not. But they did have them listed in that list of bots in the anniversary crystal. And welcome to Sunstreaker Waza. It's about time that you finally followed us over here to Twitch. I'm kidding, man. It's all good. And if any of you guys don't know who Sunstreaker Waza is, he's another one of the Transformers Earthwars YouTuber. He's been actually streaming over on YouTube every day for, what is it, about 60 days now, since everybody went on lockdown. So it's always a good time. So definitely head on over there and support Sunstreaker Waza over on YouTube. And meanwhile, if you're watching the replay on YouTube here on my channel, you can join us live on twitch.tv/engineerhoist. That's where we record live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can also follow me on Twitter or Instagram at engineerhoist. And that brings us to the end of the prepared news. So here we go. Let's take a look more at these little combat bots. So we've got Topshot and Fire Drive. No, not Fire Drive. Fireline. So there you go. They're basically the same guys, just in different colors. And I'll go ahead and transform. Who is this one? Fireline. He transforms into a very onslaught-looking. In fact, they both transform into the same mode. It's like a cannon truck. So that's their alt mode. We obviously don't see their alt mode in the game. We see them in their gun mode. And as I mentioned before, these guys combine with their Battle Master or their partners to form a combined weapon. So we saw Flak and Cratermaker turn into basically a weapon like this, and it makes sense. It's easy. They fire off little missiles. You could do that with these guys. You can't really do that with these guys because this cannon here is actually the post that the larger bot holds when they combine. But I'll go ahead and show you their combined weapon mode as well. Now they're not the most solid transformation when he's in this mode. So basically, you kind of flip over the front and then flip up the cannon there, and these guys just kind of combine together. I think his arms come down. So you just kind of squish them together, and so that's the actual weapon mode that the toys make. And so you can see that the little gun there is that's actually the handle. How they actually are going to turn this into an individual gun, I'm not real sure. I did a little bit of playing around with it before we got started here. That's why we started a little late, because I lost track of time doing that. I'm not entirely sure how they'll do it, so I guess we'll just have to stand by and see how that's going to turn out and see what they come up with. My guess is they're going to find some way to have him take advantage of this cannon mode. Basically, maybe be kind of like a mortar launcher or something like that. So whereas Flak and Crater Maker had a spread of rockets similar to Skyburst and Onslaught, they may find a way to have this guy basically have some kind of a grenade or cannon, maybe some incendiary effect to it, maybe an EMP or some other kind of additional ability to it that you could use and turn any of the air bots or other gunner bots into some kind of a gunner. So certainly wouldn't just be a standard gunner type of a weapon, but that's why I'm thinking it might have some kind of an incendiary or acid or some sort of effect. Or maybe it would just be a similar, like a grenade, but with an area of effect kind of a damage or something. Time will tell. We may get that next week. It may be a week after. Not sure, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. Okay, so just catching up on the chat there. Slamfart saying the combat bots may act more like a minion. Now that's an interesting thought. They might do something like that. How would they do that? Would they act where they run around in the bot mode, or would they maybe like every 15 seconds they transform into their alt mode and fire off a blast or something? That might be an interesting thought. Certainly they've got plans for them already, but I wouldn't expect them to be minions, but it's an interesting thought. Grand Galvatron's hoping the namesake of Galvatron will be in the game. Yeah, I agree. It definitely is not. We know Leo Kaiser or Lio Kaiser's coming next, so Grand Galvatron doesn't even have a shot at coming in until we get them in. And probably another year after that. We might be at the 6-year anniversary before we start talking about Grand Galvatron and the next Autobot combiner coming in. Optimus Rodimus, good to hear from you. I'm doing all right. Do I know anyone who does an awesome job with custom painting Transformers? I don't know anybody personally. There's a lot of customizers out there on Facebook. I'm not sure how to get a hold of them or anything like that. I'm certainly not one of them. I've only painted just this one Ratchet back over there, and it is not the best job in the world. I hope to do a little bit more of that in the future and improve. Gunfire, wonder if your namesake will enter the game, which is Black Shadow. That's interesting. Black Shadow has he was most recently released as a leader class figure in the the Titans Return line, but he did have a deluxe class figure back in Generations, which is actually a really cool figure. I like that version of Black Shadow a lot. It's always a possibility. He's one of the more fringe characters that you don't see a lot, so he's probably not high up on the list, but I would never rule it out. See. Grand Galvatron getting back into embroidery again. Good to hear. Good to hear. French Shockquake 24 is a huge fan. Can I say his name? Well, I just did. Shockquake 24, thank you for being a fan of the show. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate you sending Scary Dave to let me know. Yes, I'm hoping Hoist will be in the game soon too. It sounds like he's on the list, maybe closer to the top than somebody like Black Shadow would be. But who knows how far down the list he's going to be. I'll just be happy whenever he shows up. Whenever, you know, it doesn't have to be the next time. It could be, you know, next year. Whenever. It'll just be cool to see him. So Stringer says, if they bring out Apeface and Snapdragon defecting to being a con. Well, that would be hard to do because those guys being triple changers, there's no other. They don't have the Autobot counterpart because I don't think there were Autobot triple changer headmasters, if I recall. One thing they could work with for those guys is they could just basically not make them triple changers and basically have, like, say, their beast modes be their preferred mode, and then they both turn into the jets for, like, their ability or something like that. That could be a way of doing it. Scary Day's asking, should Hoist be a medic? Well, see, that's the problem, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we haven't seen Hoist in there is because they're pretty certain that they don't want to add any more medics, because we've already got 3 on each side, and they're not looking at adding any more medics. What I thought you could do with Hoist is you could have him be a gunner or some other short-range, medium-range kind of a bot similar to Cup or Hot Rod, but then have a healing ability, which they did say they were open to. This is very similar to Sandstorm and Springer both have healing abilities. So I could see something like that, where Hoist would be some sort of actual a fighter, because he got his hands dirty in the I think it's the Masquerade episode where the Autobots went and captured all of the Stunticons, and they went and pretended to be the Stunticons to try to capture whatever MacGuffin Megatron was working with at the time. And Hoist was out there on the front lines and helped capture, I want to say, Breakdown, maybe? It's been a while since I looked at that, but he was definitely out there getting his hands dirty in battle, too. So Hoist was not just a medic. Of course, neither is Wheeljack or Ratchet. How about we crack some crystals? We can keep this conversation going while we crack crystals, because you know, it's always going to be a dupe party, and instead of just rattling off the latest duplicate that comes out, we usually talk about stuff. So we got 135 crystals. That's a lot of crystals to get through. A wide variety, even. So we've got the. I've been saving up the free crystals now because with the chance of 4 stars, there's always a good chance that you could get something fun. I think it was the last stream that we cracked some free crystals. I actually pulled off 4-star Decepticon. Got some Guardian crystals, and I actually have 2 4-star crystals because my player level just went from 87 to 88, which the higher levels actually rewards a bunch of 4-star shards, enough for me to go ahead and complete 2 of those crystals. So I was surprised by that. I just kind of looked down and like, where did all those 4-star shards come from? And then I realized that's what happened there. So, yeah, we got a couple of 3-star crystals over there too. Let's go ahead and open these gold cores. So what we got. That is one thing I definitely don't need. I have plenty of flak jackets. Oh, okay, so that's an Omni Flamer. I think I have a gold Omni Flamer already anyway. I'm not using it, but I have one. Oh, there's another gold chip over here. To the smelter, that's right. Gold XP boost. Okay, I can't remember where that came from. I think that might have been from the link. Yeah, in the newsletter there was a link where you can get premium shards, and I'm guessing that XP booster and some spark. So that's one of the good reasons to join up with the sign up for the newsletter. And if you join the Discord, in my Discord, I think somebody's got that posted in there as well. I would be willing to wager Sunstreaker Waz's Discord has it as well too. Let's crack these Guardian crystals. These are shards. 3, 4, and 5-star shards, I believe, are the possibilities here. How is Rachel coming along? You mean Ratchet? Oh, the 5-star Rachel that we just got the other day. He's level 41. I haven't done a lot of work on him. I've been focused on Brainstorm. Then I realized I stopped leveling Dinobot. Dinobot was about level 49, so I kind of threw Brainstorm and Dinobot in there trying to get them to 50, and then I'll go grab Ratchet or Rachel. Yeah, probably not 50 this weekend. I suppose I could throw one of those XP cores on him and could probably pull it off. Yes, these are from the VIP Berserk. Ooh, that was a nice way to end it. And they also threw some total spark crystals at us in there, so there's your list of the things in the total spark crystal. That's nice. Yeah, when I first got all those combat bots, I ended up getting a lot of duplicates. It's like, that's a lot of combat spark. But when you actually start leveling up your combat bots, you realize that goes pretty quick. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh! Yeah, they haven't released Broadside yet. They talked about that a week or two ago. He turns into an aircraft carrier for one of his alt modes. How would that even work? Is he just going to kind of sit off the battlefield? And, I mean, he's a very tough one to integrate into the into the game because of that alt mode. The Kakarot, first time watching the stream. Well, welcome. Thank you for swinging by. Let's get through these free crystals, shall we? See what we get. I don't know which faction this one is. We'll find out. This is one of the birds. Tyraxodon, so that must be the Autobots. It's a 3-star Tyraxodon even. That's pretty nice. That would be Night Stalker. Another Night Stalker. Lot of Night Stalkers. And that would be Flak. What combiner do you recommend for those who just got the combiner? Well, my personal favorite combiners are Volcanicus and Defensor with Victorion right up there. Those guys are and gals are the top 3 for sure. And if you're a con, that would be Predaking, Abominus, and Menasor. But, it really comes down to which bots that you get. And if you're still chasing the combiners, everybody's got that one bot in a combiner that's really hard to get. It's different for everybody. For me, for Victorion, it was Rust Dust. I know for Sunstreaker Waza for Victorion, it was Dust Up. And I guarantee you somebody out there is chasing Jumpstream. You can't seem to find her. I know some people have been trying to find Skyburst. It's different for everybody. So... maybe you get his parts randomly from dupes as a 4th reward. I'm not sure. Are you thinking like Overlord? Same with Omega Supreme? Yeah, I don't see that happening. The way I see that, if they bring those guys in, which they're difficult because they're essentially combiner-sized bots, but they're a single unit. The way I would see them come in is you can think of them kind of as triple changers. Because they both have a base mode, they both kind of have a tank mode, and both have a flying mode. So maybe kind of like have 2 abilities, perhaps. Like kind of similar to a triple changer, but because they're larger, make them a little bit more powerful. Maybe you deploy them similar to a combiner. And those would be like their combiner style abilities. Or maybe they just be larger bots, but they take up 2 spots on the shuttle or something. I can see why they're slow to incorporate those guys, because they're just they're kind of in a class of their own. Did you get the bundle for Victorion? Well, if you want Victorion, that's your best chance of getting their her components, because the only bots that drop from there are bots that are in there. Now you're still going to get plenty of 2 stars. One of the nice things about buying combiner bundles is you get bonus combiner spark along with that, and every bot that you get that's a duplicate is guaranteed to be a combiner bot that will drop combiner spark. By the way, that was 10,000 spark over 3 crystal. That's a pretty nice prize. Optimus Rodimus, your unicorns are Rust Dust and Silverbolt. Those were my 2 as well, for those 2 combiners. And it was Snarl for Volcanicus, and hard to say for Defensor, because all of his bots were all pretty new by the time he came out. But I think Streetwise was the last one I was chasing for him. Wish Off-Road counted for Menasor. Yeah, I was a little surprised by that, because you had him there already, and they used 6 bots for Victorion, and they could have found a way to include him as part of Menasor, but they didn't. Now, in the actual toy, and even in the comics, Off-Road actually took the place of Wild Rider, which we know as Breakneck in the game. And the chest minion for Menasor was actually Blackjack, who we don't have in the game. So, but still, they might have been able to just figure out a way to say that he's in there somehow. Maybe have him be a backpack. I don't know. I think what happened was we already had Optimus Maximus, and because they're very similar bots, Optimus Maximus and Menasor, they kind of were trying to stick to that same character model that they already had. And that's probably why he was a 5-bot combiner. Okay, so that does it from the free crystals. So nothing particularly special from that. But I did see a stack of premium crystals slide past there, so we'll go get another Decepticon premium crystal. And pretty sure we'll have enough for a couple more 3-star crystals here by the time we get through all of this. Alright, so let's open these Decepticon premium crystals here, see what kind of bots we get through here. Sucked when Combiner Spark was Combiner specific. Yes, it was very tough, and you really did have to buy those bundles. I agree. I'm so glad. That was one of the best changes that they've made, was making it universal Combiner Spark. Three-star Deathsaurus coming through. He's already at like 51 or 52. What am I seeing? 4-star Deathsaurus come through. Should the Autobot side have Decepticon combiners and vice versa? No. One of the reasons which I can understand where they're coming from is they say it would be a lot of additional code and lag on the game to add that in there, add that ability in there for you to do that, and I would rather have the game be more optimized than have that as an option. And also the other reason is I don't use my Autobot combiners enough as it is, much less to waste Ore 13 on the Decepticon combiners. So I would say no. I mean, if they want to put it in there, I'll use them, maybe. But it's not something that I really want. But we did get a 2-star Soundwave Hiss tank, though. So cool. Dive Bomb. Speaking of which, I did actually hop on my Decepticon account over on my other phone the other day and cracked open all of the crystals that I'd gotten from the VIP rewards, because I had gotten VIP on that account as well, and I finally got 3-star Dive Bomb, so I'm able to create Predaking finally on my Decepticon account. But I'm not going to, because my phone is too old and it crashed like after every 10th crystal, and anytime I went into the combiner lab to try to form Predaking, it would crash. So, and the phone's not even that old, and that is why they don't want to add those other combiners, is because even a 3-year-old phone is having trouble handling the game as it is. So, and that's also another reason why you won't be seeing me playing my Decepticon account much, or at all, because not only do I not really have the time anymore, but my phone can't handle it. Oh, we got a 2-star Octone coming through, so a couple new bots. Filling out my Decepticon 2-star ranks. Should make crossplay PC version. Well, they were asked that during the stream, and seeing the problem is the programming. Oh, look, we're getting a new bot. New 4-star Decepticon, and it is Vortex. Okay, I'll take him. Oh man, I don't know. I think, yeah, I think it was like a 7+. I mean, there may be something else going on. I might need to do an upgrade of the software or something, because I'm rarely on that phone. But yeah. So I don't know even what I was saying before we got that. I couldn't help it. I mean, come on, Vortex and Dust Up are probably the worst bots. I mean, they're good gunners, so, but the abilities, I just very rarely find any use for their abilities. Okay, so we're on to the Autobot Premium Crystals. Should there be more 5 stars or less? Well, dude, we're going to be getting new 5 stars again. At some point, I think we're going to be getting through pretty much the entire roster to where everybody's got a 5-star. They're just releasing them only a little bit at a time. And I guarantee you there's people out there right now with enough 5-star shards that as soon as they release the next batch, they will have all 5 of them immediately. That's what happened the last time. Okay, so Cybertron Jetfire, that's one of the guys that I don't have in the 4-star. Let's see, who else is there? Ultra Magnus and Windblade, Cybertron Jetfire, Goldfire, Sandstorm, I think Punch and Red Alert, I think are my options. Unless I happen to pull one of them here tonight. Then we take them off the table. Predictions for new 5 stars? I haven't honestly thought about it. it's getting harder to predict because we've got a lot out there already. Who am I hoping for the most? Probably Sandstorm out of that group. In a way, I'm kind of hoping for Ultra Magnus and or Windblade at some point, just to have them. But as far as bot that I want to use, definitely would be Sandstorm. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant for the event. Only have 10, but your options are almost limitless. Well, yeah, that's one of the nice things is you know, you can get any of them. Hopefully, you don't get Vortex. Five-star bots are endgame bots, which is supposed to take a while to get. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Vortex is really only good for Bruticus, but like we were saying before, this is an Autobot account, so Bruticus is off the table. Still, I do have a relatively small roster of 4-star Decepticons, so he'll do fine as a 4-star gunner. Sharksy, I'm sorry I took your Vortex. And there's his counterpart. If I could let you have him, Sharksy, I would. Yeah, there was some discussion about trading. Some people were really pushing for it in one of the last streams. And I don't ever see trading coming to the game because it would be too easy to exploit. One of the issues you run into is you'd have to figure out how do you have some kind of a way to make it fair so that one person does not scam or cheat the other one. Plus then you also run into the situation where people are running multiple accounts and they'll just take all of their prizes that they get and trade them all to their main account, and then you just have a bunch of super players running around simply because they start multiple accounts, and then that would be something that everybody could do, and it would just get completely out of control. It would go berserk, to use your name there, buddy. So I don't ever see trading even being considered in this game. So sorry for anybody who was hoping for something like that. It would be nice for those situations where it's like, hey, I just got a 4-star Vortex. I don't need them, but hey, my buddy over here does. I can do that, but ain't gonna happen. But the thing about saving base designs, I think that would be cool to have like 1 or 2 base slots. But one of the difficult things is you don't know what kind of load it would need. A lot of ideas seem simple to implement. When you actually have to get down and program it or whatever, it could be quite complicated, and it might actually bog down the game in a way that you don't want it to have happen. So that's one of the tricky things about these things, is they sound very simple, but it's not always a simple solution. So 1900 crystals ready to be cracked? Dude, you better start You better start cracking them, man. It's gonna take you a while. I may have missed it. How many crystals are you up to there, Red Alert? So I know you've been saving crystals, waiting for Red Alert to come out to the premium, to the regular crystals. Almost 400. And see, and I can understand that because you're looking for a specific bot that, and you've just been holding on until he gets released out there. I can get that. But 1900, man, that's a lot. I mean, you play your game the way you want to play it. So I'm not criticizing. It's just that's a lot. I don't know if I'd have the patience. Don't want any 4-star combat bots for your Autobots? Well, you know, you don't have to claim those free crystals, those on the opposite faction if you don't want to. That would be a guaranteed way not to get combat bots for your opposite factions. Just don't claim those crystals. Yeah, I know, he's still only red alert crystals now, but the fact that he's going to be available in this anniversary crystal makes me wonder if he may be getting released soon to the regular crystals. But yeah, he's definitely not there right now. Yeah, cracking multiple crystals would be nice, but then we wouldn't be having this nice long stream. Although I suppose I could choose to open them individually. Yeah, I played Marvel Strike Force for a while, and cracking things 10 at a time is definitely very nice. And trust me, if we had that option here, I'd probably do it too. I think Forged to Fight lets you crack multiple at a time as well. It's been a very long time since I played that. Okay, so we got nothing out of the Autobot Premium Crystals. And see, we've got 2 3-star crystals. We'll get 1 from each faction, so that way we've got 2 from each faction. Because there are some 3-star crystals. So there are some Autobot 3-stars that are still out there for me to get. So let's open the Decepticon ones first. And we got a duplicate Scrapnel. You're gonna open them next week when your shuttle's finally upgraded for the 8th. You're trying to find that 8th bot for your new shuttle upgrade. I hear you. And we got a duplicate Reflector. Yeah, I'd think he'd be pretty close to a 5-star if you open 1900 crystals. Alright, Autobot 3-star crystals. Got tracks. And we've got Stormclash? Yeah. Those sisters are very difficult to tell apart. Alright, so we've got 2 4-star crystals. Let's see if we're going to reduce the pool of available bots in this anniversary crystal this weekend, or if it's just going to remain the same and start continue to save up for that 5-star Elite 1. Well, this one's contributing to the 5-star Elite 1. Volatile Mixture's a nice core, though. I'll take that. And the next one is also contributing to Elite 1. It is Impactor. Neither one of them gave Combiner Spark, unfortunately. And I don't need that guided missiles because I actually have a gold guided missiles for all of my missile launchers. Okay, so those 2 4-star crystals were a little bit underwhelming. Oh look, we've got story for the Soundwave Hiss tank. Yeah, Ultra Magnus. Yeah, he hasn't been able to deal with my game for a while. Okay, so Ramjet, and we're gonna have Soundwave in here, and I don't have any kind of voiceover or a vocoder for Soundwave, nor can I do that Dr. Claw voice that Frank Welker did before it got vocoded. Anyway, I'll just read it. Check out Soundwave's Zaft Whoopin' new alt mode. Guess he finally decided to get relevant. Yeah, that look was so retro. But you know, it took getting blown apart and put back together by this Cobra outfit to drag him into the 21st century. Your juvenile efforts to provoke me are a waste of audio harmonics, dirge. I am immune to such tactics. Sure. But now, when is this Cobra commander says jump, you say how high, am I right? The fact that I owe a certain debt to Cobra Commander is neither here nor there, Starscream. I am a Decepticon first and foremost, and so I remain. Really? Because I heard you were like his pimped up wheels now. This custom hiss tank. High-speed sentry. Yes, perhaps, Ramjet, you would like me to demonstrate my new Diablo cannons. See? Told you we could get under his exodermal metal plating. Cobra has something of an ethos. Don't get mad, get even. All of you would do well to remember that I may have changed externally. My cache of damaging or embarrassing recorded data is as bottomless as ever. We were just fooling with you, Soundwave. Right, some lighthearted banter in the ranks. Nothing meant by it. Bit of fun, that's all. As you are fond of pointing out, I do not possess a sense of humor. But I do have a very long memory. Oh, we got Octane, Octone, whatever you want to call him, story too. Earth looks far from the front line. Thank the Matrix. Don't let this back of beyond facade fool you, Octone. Since we got here, my fuselage has been punctured by enemy fire so often my holes have holes. Okay. Yeah, and it's not just regular Autobot action, neither. There's a plethora of primes. One with a laser rod, watch out for that. A Dinobot combiner, Sharkticons, a future Megatron, I could go on. So if you saw this posting as soft option and a chance to duck the flak, you got your fuel pipes well and truly crossed. Oh well, losers, it's been fun, but must fly. Seems they can't do without me on serenely war-torn Cybertron after all. Where do you think you're going, Octone? We need fuel, urgently. And you have an uncanny ability to sniff it out. Trust me, we didn't bring you here for your battlefront bravado. You want me to go out there alone? But what if I bump into a Rodimus Unicronus en route? Blitzwing, Astrotrain, want to hold Octone's hand? Actually, Bludgeon, just remembered I got somewhere to be. Me too, and if you give me a moment, I'll work out where. What? Come on, we triple changers gotta stick together, right? Triple changers, huh? It was losers a moment ago. Have fun and watch out for ticked off Prime Core gathering demigods. Help! So there you go. It's interesting that the stories for these bots kind of date them to where they showed up in the saga. So clearly those guys, Octone came out around the time where the Sentius twins were coming in, which was about a year and a half ago now or so. Starscream dead. Voltron mixture is awesome on 6-gun. I see. Yeah, I can imagine. I was so bummed I didn't get that 4-star 6-gun. I'm definitely going to be chasing 6-gun when he comes out. I'm not going to be going crazy because I do need to control the spending, but I really do definitely want that 6-gun. All right. Well, that was quite a long crystal cracking adventure, and but I think it's time to go ahead and wrap up the stream for you guys on Twitch. Hang out. We'll do our little after show. For those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for making it this far. If you want to join these guys live, head on over to twitch.tv/EngineerHoist Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and join in the live and chat and all that stuff. Link is in the Discord for that. Otherwise, just wait for the replay to get posted up on YouTube. And that's going to do it for now. Happy anniversary. Good luck on the event. Hope you get what you want out of your 4-star anniversary crystal. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.